Martinez, and you are plugged in to the Social Plug Podcast, where we connect you to level up. We are at the Greenleaf Studio, the beautiful Greenleaf Studio at Greenleaf Health and Wellness in historic and very lovely New Braunfels, Texas. We are live today for the third time this week. We love going live, J Rock, and I'm going to introduce
Yeah.
J Rock back there,
Hell
the
yeah, man.
world renowned producer. He uses
Yeah.
excessive hair products, and he's got the great sunglasses. The Stevie Ray, or not Stevie Ray Vaughan, the Ray Charles and
The Ray
Stevie Wonder
Charles. Well, the glasses are
sunglasses.
well needed today.
Well needed.
Well needed today.
You got some bags under your eyes, sir?
Oh yeah. Nobody needs to see them either, so we're good to go.
You didn't get punched in the eye by a gorilla, did you?
Oh no. We'll never let. Well, I mean, hopefully I never put myself in that situation. So we'll see what happens.
You weren't stealing nothing, were you?
No stealing, man.
All right. Well, we'll talk
Yeah.
about that on a different podcast
Yes, that's right.
with Michael Mann. Some people might know what the hell I'm talking about, and some, if you don't know, you better ask somebody.
That's right.
All right, but we'll talk about that later. We're going to have a very lively show, and our shows are always consisting of different elements. Sometimes we like to inspire, sometimes we like to motivate, sometimes we like to entertain, and entertain with some comedic views, some comedic content, conversations. So today we have a very funny guy. At least I think he's funny. Uh, and we'll talk about it. Do people think he's funny, or people don't think he's funny, or what kind of a persona he has? Because everybody has some kind of persona, and everybody has some kind of thought process about a lot of things. And hopefully you guys chime in, because we're going to have a lot of conversations about various topics, various things going on. It's 2024, everybody. And is the world going to shit, or is the world going on another level, higher than ever? We don't know. So we'll discuss those things. We got Stanley Cups going on. We got Cat Williams stuff. We got Stephen A. Smith. Those who don't know about Stephen A. Smith, you better look it up on Google or YouTube. But there's podcasters out there that are now debating each other publicly, kind of like Biggie and Tupac. I don't know if you remember that, J-Rock, back in
Yeah,
the
man.
90s.
I kind of feel that a little bit going on right now, like that little rivalry. And then, we talked about this last show, but like how even the public's talking for Cat Williams. Well, they're also the ones that are creating more of a beef as well, because you never know how these other comedians are taking it.
Yep, and some people say, don't start no shit, won't be no shit.
That's right.
But a lot of people are starting shit, and it's kind of fun to watch. I usually like to stay positive, but there's sometimes I like watching some people go on in there, and it gives us another layer of entertainment in our lives to look forward to when these guys on a very high public platform are gouging eyes and doing all these things to each other. It's kind of funny.
And it's almost like they're utilizing it the right way. Like even Chingo Bling, I saw him the other day, was like, come see what my thoughts are of Cat Williams, but on tour. So
Hmm.
it's like you want to hear what he has to say about Cat Williams, but you're gonna have to hear it when you go pay for tickets
Yeah,
to go see him. So they're utilizing it the right way in some ways.
yeah,
Well, some people are. So
yeah.
hell yeah.
So we're gonna have a lively conversation today. It's gonna go well. We'll probably go live for about 35, 40 minutes. So if you have the time, check us out. If not, make sure you come back to this platform and watch the recording as well. So without further ado, he's a good friend of mine. I've known this guy. We were in the military together. Had a lot of good times, a lot of laughs. Every time I see him, he brings a smile to my face. Last time he was here, we were looking different. We had a few more pounds on us. All right, and so we talked about it. We're like, what the hell do we got to do different? Why are we looking like this? What happened to us? So we'll talk about what we changed in our lives, what we tweaked, and what we got going on to go forward. So this man he's a marketer, he's a podcaster. He also has a
Yeah.
podcast, and we look forward to breaking bread with him, and maybe I'll be on his podcast soon. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I've been on it before, but I like to continue that trend. Hopefully, we'll start a new trend of me being a frequent guest. That'll be good. He's a marketer. He's an entrepreneur. He's a military veteran, retired, and he's my good friend. So this man right here, Sean
What's
P.
up?
Christian.
What's up?
What is up, man?
Yeah, as always. Well, thank you.
The unshaven Sean
That's
P.
it.
Christian.
Yeah. And shit.
You just have to let it go sometimes. You just have to do you, boo.
That's right.
I haven't had a clean shave since March the 5th, 2021.
And that's all you grew since March?
No, I mean, I haven't had a complete
Okay.
clean shave.
Clean shave.
Like, I get it trimmed up to the refinery. I'm going to give them a shout out.
Okay, go ahead.
They're in Green, Men's Grooming Lounge Refinery. They're fantastic. They take care of me, and they make sure that I'm looking fly, you know.
You do look fly.
Well, I appreciate
Pretty fly
it.
for a white guy, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate the invite, fellas. It's always a joy to be on y'all show. We always have a good time. A little early for cocktails, but not
It's
early.
never too
It's
early.
not. Yeah,
Dude,
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong person over there.
Yeah.
That guy
Dude,
will have a cocktail.
this was off the
11
cuff,
a.m.
man.
it is.
So right now we're live at 1 p.m.,
Oh,
right?
it's not. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We were texting back and forth at 11:23
Yep.
about an hour and a half ago,
Yep.
and we made shit happen. We got you on the show.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I reached out to Johnny because I'll give myself a plug here. The Rando podcast is back. And follow me at the Rando podcast. I started it actually in 2020, February of 2020, before COVID. I didn't even know COVID was, obviously nobody did. But my former career in the military, I was in marketing for Air Force Recruiting Service. And I was always looking for new ways to tell the Air Force story. And we partnered with a pretty big fitness podcast platform. And that's kind of where I got the itch. And let's be honest, a good podcaster loves the sound of their own voice.
No,
Yes,
no way.
it's true. I may or may not call my own voicemail so I can have a conversation with myself.
Yeah, you do got a very, very eloquent voice.
Yeah, but it's funny. Like
Yeah.
every time I post a show, I might listen to it a few times. Well, mainly to get better, but
Yeah.
we all like the sound of our own voice.
What's the best quality of your voice? The distinction, is it the pitch? What is it?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. We'll have to ask the audience. If you're listening, if you're watching right now, how do we sound? Comment. Do we sound sexy? I mean,
Dude, I like the James Earl Jones voice.
Yeah.
Sexy, baby.
yeah,
The Darth Vader.
yeah,
I
Darth
am your
Vader.
father.
yeah.
No.
That's
No.
Can anybody do the James Earl voice here on the show?
no. I definitely can't.
Do you have any impressions?
My
of
voice is
voices?
shot right now.
I have zero impressions.
So J-Rock's got the raspy voice.
I've always had the raspy voice. I've heard that I sound like Triple H sometimes because he has that raspy voice when he talks like a wrestler. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I do got that raspy voice.
So voice
Yeah, it kinda
is
sucks.
very important
It
for a
is
podcast.
important. It is important
Because if you have that monotone voice, hello, we're on the Rando podcast.
yeah, it's not cool.
I'm going to say, click the hell off that damn thing.
Yeah.
Boring.
Hey, in true story, when I was younger, and it's probably still true today, I actually have a high pitched voice.
You
A little
do.
bit.
Yeah, you do.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
have
do.
a low Darth Vader style voice, so I've always had. In fact,
A George Costanza voice, I would say. Ish.
How is he doing, Johnny? When he's, you know what I was talking about? Was it at Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Yeah.
can you hear it?
He's
Can you
done
do
it.
it?
Oh.
He's done it before. You know, act like you don't know how to do it.
No, I'm trying to think. I like the Kramer voice, but the George Costanza, you kind of are in the George Costanza realm.
Yeah.
So
When I first met you, I thought you had an accent, like a cowboy type accent. Sometimes when some of the words you say, you kind of sound like you have an accent.
That southern accent comes out.
Yeah, there you go. there.
Yeah, when I lived up in Boston, my nickname was Tex, because to
Mhm.
them,
Yeah,
I sounded
you sound
definitely
yeah.
like a cowboy.
because you're from East Texas. Are you
no,
from Dallas?
I'm from Dallas Fort Worth.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in like Central Texas, just north of, just south of Fort Worth, in a little town called Grandview, Texas, outside of Cleveland, Texas.
Okay.
And then moved to Fort Worth, and then joined the military after that. And then I was turned into a mutt, being all over the place.
And the rest is history, man.
The rest is history.
You're a world-renowned traveler. You've been all over the damn place.
Yeah.
Including Sweden.
Sweden, and we we're trying to get back there. We love it. We're building a house out there, and Sandra's very involved in her family's business, and they just launched a restaurant and a glamping and a camping experience.
Wow.
So much going on over there in Europe. Primarily in Sweden where we're gonna go, but we're super excited. And I'm in between jobs, and now is an opportunity. If you could do something in your life that there's other things that there's always things that hold us back, right?
Yep.
And now, like, nothing's holding us back. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's burn the boats and do something that's gonna add value to our family
Mhm.
and secure our family. And Sandra moved over here when 12. Actually, she moved over here 14 years ago, and now we have an opportunity for her to go back home and spend more time with her family. And I think she deserves that as my wife. So
Yep.
I've lived in Europe before, so I'm kind of used to the different customs and courtesies, and so I'm down. I'm ready to go over there and make a difference over there and spend more time with her family.
So speaking of making a difference, we'll get into that in a
Yeah.
bit. But there's a young man who's just chiming in, and we love our people that chime in. His name's Daniel Hopper. Have you heard of that guy?
Oh God, Daniel Hopper.
So Big
What's
Daniel
up?
Hopper says,
What's up,
"Hey,"
bro?
he says, "Sean needs a lot of work with his voice."
Oh, well, he needs a lot of work with his feedback. Me and Daniel got into it. Well, I wouldn't say we got into it. We had a difference of opinions
Good.
the other day.
People need a difference of
They
opinion.
do.
If you rely on being in constant, you're always agreeing with people.
Yeah,
Dude, that shit's boring as well.
it
You
is
need,
boring.
but in today's day and age, if you kind of disagree with somebody, people get pissed off.
They do.
And people want to stop talking to you, and people want to shun you out and talk shit. Man, let's stop that stuff.
Yeah,
Let's disagree.
it's okay to disagree.
And hopefully you and I disagree on this show.
We will.
I don't want to agree with you on every damn thing.
You know what? We probably will agree. That's me disagreeing.
And if you agree with me in any kind of way, make sure you disagree.
Yeah.
All right, so we can make it more lively as
Now,
well.
with that being said, if you're gonna go in and debate or disagree with someone, make sure you've got your facts.
Yes, don't
Right?
just be a dumb.
Because no, I'm joking. I'm not gonna make stuff up.
No.
We love you, Hopper, man. We love you.
He did said you sound great, by the way.
Okay, I appreciate that, man. You look fantastic,
Yeah.
Daniel.
And you look fantastic, man.
I bought this hat.
Joking. No, I'm kidding.
It's the hat. It's the hat. I've always wanted the
Yeah.
flat bill hats.
Yeah.
And I think as my face kind of rounds out, I can now wear that.
Hold on. Can you put your head down a little bit? Have more fun.
Have more fun?
What does that mean?
Lighten up. And I'm going to take this opportunity. We're going into 2024, right? It's going to be a gnarly, nasty year. I'm going to start with this. Be kind to people this year. Let's just start there. Let's be nice to people. We all have different views and political views. But I remember the last election. God, some of y'all were just nasty. Nasty. Just be nice to people. Just be nice. Who cares if you disagree with their political views? It's okay. Right? It's okay. So have more fun. Be a listener. Don't be a responder. Right? You don't always have to respond to someone. Just listen and try to put yourself in their perspective. So I wear this hat, have more fun, because we all know I've slung these nuts.
Mhm.
But I would see people come up to our booth and they would almost psych themselves on, or have to convince themselves to try the samples.
Right.
Allow yourself to have fun. Allow yourself to take some chances, right? Take some different opportunities and just have fun. If you fail forward, right? But it's going to be okay. Nobody's going to die. We'll talk about conspiracies later. I want to get into that too, because they keep showing up with my feed right now, and I find it hilarious.
All right.
But just have some fun in life. Don't take things so seriously.
Hell yeah. And I like
That's
to
it.
have more fun in everything I damn do.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
But I can't have fun in every single thing. Some stuff sucks. But the stuff that sucks that you have to do, that's what makes us elevate. And that's for everybody out there.
Yep.
And not everything is fun, but
Yep.
some stuff is very, very necessary. So let's talk about your podcast. What kind of
Yeah.
stuff do we talk about on the podcast?
Yeah, so the Rando podcast is random, off the cuff, all the time, and random guests, random topics. Again, I started back in 2020 just trying to find something to do. Obviously, I love the sound of my own voice.
Mhm.
And it actually kind of caught a little bit of growth early on. And then, I had two other guys on the show. One's a San Antonio police officer. He's no longer, he's focused on serving our community, and his schedule kind of changed.
Mhm.
Another good friend of mine, Kirk, he moved to Georgia. He is now a retired Air Force vet. Appreciate your service, Kirk. And so things, changed, and the headphones, got hung up a little bit. The mixer got put back in the box, and finally, I just kind of had this urge. I had the time. I feel like I got a lot to say, or probably random stuff that I don't need to say. And I dusted it off the other day, created a new logo. Thanks for those that helped me pick the new logo. And I'm ready to get back to it, because I know 2024, we're going to need distractions in our lives.
Mhm.
We're going to need some fun, entertaining topics. And that's my focus in 2024 for the Rando podcast. I want to bring some nonsense to your lives, some unnecessary facts or unnecessary things that I just make up. And then if you want to be on the show, I want you to come on the show
Useless
and
knowledge.
useless knowledge, have a few cocktails, have a good time.
Just conversation, man.
Just it.
Just like we were having dinner with amongst friends at Chili's or Applebee's or
Right.
whatever.
It's it. Because this right here, this gadget that we're all connected to, it and I'm guilty of this. It's easy to get absorbed by everything that's going on this thing. We forget to do this and conversate and invest in each other. Because it's weird. It's like everyone's living their best life on social media. All right. So we always want to be living our best life. So if I can go look at someone living their best life, it's gonna make me feel good. And I do it too. Like I look at you guys sometimes out having a good time, and I don't go out a lot. And I'm like, dang, they're hitting all these cool places, and I get a little FOMO from time to time. But I tell you, the real connection is right here. Not what someone's doing out on the town, but right here, building relationships, having a good time, shooting the shit, talking about things that matter, and then talking about things that don't really matter.
Just bonding.
Bonding, that's it.
Whether it's just people bonding. It doesn't have to be men bonding with men or women. It's people bonding.
That's it.
And that is the connection that a lot of people today are missing. Our society is so connected to these phones,
Yeah.
right? So I saw something the other day. Whenever we're out at dinner, and this is for everybody, if you just look around, you go have dinner somewhere, you look around. What do you see? You see couples, date night. What are they doing?
Yeah. They take
With each other, right in front of each other. And I'm guilty of it as well. I got to take this call. Oh, somebody's texting me. But are we really in tune and focused with that person right in front of us? Even if we're amongst friends, what do? We take our phones out and we put it on the table, right? Just in case. So that phone is on standby in case it rings, whatever. What do? We look at it. Oh, so people can be having conversations, but what are you doing? You're on your damn phone.
You're on your phone, and I do it too. I'll put it down and I'll not look at it. Like, what am I looking at? It's the same notifications that were there 20 seconds ago.
Yep.
I don't. In fact, I've turned off the majority of my notifications, but then I get this little cool smartwatch. So now they're not just going to my phone; they're going to my watch. So when I go to the refinery,
You can't get away.
I can't get away. I go to the refinery, I take my watch off, I put my phone away, and I just go and chill. And that's my like hour and a half time.
Because the watch is just an extra layer of your phone.
Yeah, but
It's just here.
But I love it.
Yeah.
I do love the watch. It's nice.
So can you imagine though? We're talking crap about the phone and how
Mm-hmm.
it disconnects us. But actually it's connected us in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have my phone, I don't eat. I don't make money.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just that's just the truth of the
And
matter.
people are watching the show potentially from your phone. They're going to be listening to the Rando podcast potentially from their phone. Yeah, it's a viable resource that we have to use, but there's limitations, just like everything out there. You can't let the phone and the computer and the technology absorb your life.
Right.
Right. Sometimes it's nice just to go camping and be completely off the grid.
Do you go through like withdrawals when you're doing that?
I might say the first few days might be a little tough, but then after a while, you kind of get used to it. Like when we go to Europe, obviously, I mean, I can connect to Wi-Fi, but sometimes I'll just leave the phone in the bedroom for a few days, and I forget about it, and but then it's easy for me to get sucked right back in. I pull that thing up, and then I'm scrolling through TikTok for the next 2 hours.
Yeah. That shit is addicting.
It's so addicting.
It's so stupid.
It is.
But it's addicting, and I've learned a lot of things from TikTok.
Yeah.
A lot of it is bullshit, but a lot of it, you're like, man, I never thought of that. Life hacks, things that are going on in the news, because TikTok is the new news feed. Whether you believe it or not, some of it's bogus, some of it's legit, but you don't see the stuff on TikTok that you see on whether it be cable news or local news. You don't see it. It's a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, raw footage, the wars going on, whatever. You see stuff that's being filmed in real time. That sometimes people go live.
Yeah.
The other day I was on TikTok. I saw the weirdest shit I've ever seen. There was some Arabian dudes, right? They had the turbans on and they had the garb on, but they were listening to Selena, the Mexican
gosh.
singer Selena, and they were getting all kinds. People were just dropping money. So I don't really know how it works, but you can drop money to these people, right? There's some. How do you do that, J
I
Rock?
don't know. It's like a hobby now for people.
Well,
Like,
coins, or you can do something
yeah,
where you give them money.
roses. You give them roses and coins or
And
something
each
like
one of
that.
these little icons or whatever is worth some amount of money. And I'm like, how in the hell are these guys just playing Selena music and they're getting a shitload of money? What the hell's going on?
How does that even
Yeah,
work?
to me,
I'm
it's
not
like,
sure.
how are you? Why are you spending money on that?
Right, that
You
too.
know what I mean? Like, and then like, how much is it per click as well? Very interesting, but yeah, I think what's the bad part about phones is we create it to be our um, like our hobby in a way, like Netflix, and like you said, we're watching the podcast right now from your phone. Like you're finding ways for it to be your hobby. Then it's for work. Then it's your ways of communication with everybody. It's really easy for you to get caught up in it. That's for damn sure.
And it's a safe haven for some people too, because
Yeah.
if they're introverts and they go out, they find that they can go to their phone, and what it does is it creates a boundary between them and the situation that they're in. So if you walk up to someone and they're on their phone, well, you're probably not going to interrupt them, right? So they'll use that as a way to guard themselves, and I get that
Yeah.
completely, but to get through that barrier, that those insecurities that someone might have, you actually got to do the quiet opposite and put the phone down and force yourself to engage. You go through that exercise, then before you know it, you're not even using your phone. But
Yeah. I've used it. I honestly used that in a bad way the other day. I was at Chipotle in line. There's this lady that
AI is a big thing right now.
Dude, you are a AI
I love it.
guy.
Yeah,
So every time I see you, you're talking about AI.
yeah,
Your logo on the Rondo podcast
yeah. All
is
AI.
generated by AI. So what is going on with
Yeah,
AI, man?
yeah. So if you haven't been playing around with ChatGPT, do yourself a favor. You need to become familiar with ChatGPT, because it will become it if it are it's not it already is, honestly. It's like the bottom, it's the baseline.
Is this like an app on your phone
It's
or on your computer?
yeah, you can download it. Just make sure if you go to the App Store, you download the correct one. There's a few knockoff versions, but a lot of AI capabilities, or a lot of AI apps, are actually they're built by ChatGPT. So go to the web browser, go to ChatGPT, open.ai, and yeah, so the logos I did yesterday, all I did was I put in my old logo, and I described what I was looking for. I wanted something new and different, and it gave me all these different options. And some of them were good, some of them weren't. I would go back and forth with it. And then the four that I put out on social yesterday were the four that I ended up kind of liking. And then I had everyone vote on the one that they liked the most. Now, granted, if I would have gone to and again, this is tough for graphic designers, right? Because that's their livelihood. If I would have gone to a graphic designer, that would have cost me $300-400 probably per rendering,
Right.
2 weeks, right? So AI just saved me a ton of time.
And AI is artificial intelligence, by the way, for those who aren't too savvy
Yes,
on
yes. So you've
technology.
got artificial intelligence. And then you have AGI, which is the next level, which is artificial general intelligence. Now, AGI is essentially saying the machine is as smart, if not smarter, than the human. Now, I saw a very, very, and I don't want to go down the religious road here, but I saw something very scary this morning, and it was all AI, and it talked about like um, find out who you are, unlock your potential, like all these things that you can actually probably find in the Bible
Hmm.
on a spiritual level, but it was using AI to get you obviously to buy their program for you to unlock your worldly potential. In I get it, there's a ton of self-help resources out there, but this was just too eerie for me. So it's I want people to understand AI so they can be careful with it, because it's not going anywhere. It's here, and it's phenomenal if you use it the right way, but it can be very bad, just like any other thing out there. So I'm a fan. It's going to help me be a better business person. It's going to streamline my processes. It's going to help me with my podcast. I can throw in it, and it'll organize all the show notes for me. It'll give me topics. It'll give me graphics. It'll give me some funny stuff that makes zero sense. It wrote poems for me. So go out and go to ChatGPT, go check it out for yourself. But I'm a fan of it. Another great resource, sorry, it's futuretools.io. I don't know who they are, but it's like a little portal. And if you go to futuretools.io, there's all these tons of AI resources from free to paid. They're fantastic.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
How much is this stuff, man?
Well, there's a few different models. For ChatGPT, there's the 3.5 model, and that's open, that's free. But you're not going to get the best output from that because a lot of these are based on tokens, on how often you use it. I have the level up from that, and I pay $20 a month.
Okay.
And I get better return, better outputs. But just like you gotta prompt it correctly. You can't just go in there and ask it to do something that's going to generate the best outcome. You have got to prompt your questions in the most appropriate way. So again, tons of other resources that teaches you how to prompt the AI to get the best output of it that you can get. Right. So if I just say, hey, ChatGPT, I want you to write me a podcast script for two people for a 30-minute show. Well, yeah, will it do that? Absolutely. But if I change the perspective, I say, all right, ChatGPT, you are a copywriter, you are a professional podcast host, and you have all this expertise. And so I basically characterize the ChatGPT so I can get the best output from that perspective. Another great example is you can say, I want you to act like Joe Rogan and give me your top 10 um, tips on how to get fit based on Joe Rogan's philosophy in fitness. And it'll put itself in that perspective and it'll give you that output. So again, when you use it in that manner, it's fantastic, but it's all about the prompt, right? So it's a communicate and you can communicate it with it, right? So there's even I've got it on my phone and I can have a true conversation with it. I can sit right here.
Like voice or like a text format?
Oh, voice. Y'all want to do it? Watch this.
So I can see men making a female girlfriend or mistress or wife.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, that's already started too. Right.
And they can have a full blown, not only conversation, but relationship.
Yeah.
And it calls him or her or whatever, right? And they're talking. And it's like his lover.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not far from iRobot. We've all seen that movie, right, with Will Smith. We're not far from that. Tesla just came out. I'm not sure which model they're on their robot. Super smart. I mean, it's here, everyone. So I want everyone to be familiar with AI and AGI. If you ignore it, well, you're naive. I'm just gonna come out and say it. It's just like our
just like the internet today. When the internet first came out, people were skeptical.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. It's not going anywhere. And heck, we've all been using AI for a while as it is. We all have Alexa, right? That's AI. Siri on your iPhone, that is AI. Roomba that cleans your floors, that is AI.
That Oculus that these kids
AI
they use.
Exactly. Right. So it's here. So I want to empower people to get excited about it.
Dude, the menu over at McDonald's, is that AI?
I don't know. I don't go to McDonald's.
Whenever you go into McDonald's now,
there's
there's a menu.
There's a menu now. You don't even
you don't talk to a human.
Talk to a human. You just go straight there. You click what you want, take off what you want.
That's like a basic form of AI, but it is artificial intelligence in the sense that it's robotic. And now it's a touchscreen. And are they cutting off the fat in the sense that they're cutting employees?
Yeah.
So on the other end of the spectrum, is AI dangerous? Meaning, we're going to be so dependent on this AI that we are going to become dumber. We're not going to know how to solve problems. We're not going to know how to write properly. We're not going to know how to just do simple grammar other than just shit you learn in school.
Unfortunately, it's happening now, man. There's a lot of kids that suck at writing.
They can't spell.
They can't spell. They don't know. I don't even understand how the hell they're getting away with teaching these kids when everything's so easy on the iPads too.
So whenever I go to the schools for orientation or whatever for my daughters, I ask the teachers, how is it teaching kids in this generation? Do you think kids are more intelligent from when you went to school? And I'm asking these teachers. Some teachers are in their 20s, some are in their 30s and 40s. But it's legitimate because I'm always trying to wrap my head around what is going on in the generation. And we'll never really figure it out completely. These kids are influenced by all kinds of different things. But now with AI potentially writing essays for you.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
Potentially writing your resume.
That's awesome.
For you.
Yeah, I was helping this young lady the other day. She's fresh out of college, And I said, well, send over your resume. She sent it over to me. Obviously, it was bare bones. She didn't have a lot. She just graduated school. And so I said, hey, this is how you can potentially church up your resume without a lot of experience. So here's a tip if you're looking for a job and you're familiar with a little bit of AI. So what you do is you go to the job requisition. Okay. You copy that job rec. You go throw it into ChatGPT, the language model, right? And you tell it. So first you got to prompt it. Okay. Tell the ChatGPT, hey, I want you to act as a career advisor. I'm going to drop in the job description of the job that I'm applying for. After that, I'm going to drop in my resume. Once I drop in the resume, I want you to match my resume with the keywords, not change it, the keywords that are in the rec, in the job rec.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand the task? ChatGPT will handle it. Yep, I understand the task. Please upload, please copy and paste the job rec. I upload that. I put in my resume, and then it outputs. Now, it's not giving me skills that I didn't say I had. It's not lying on my resume. What it's doing, it's positioning your resume to match the job rec. So now you're communicating to the recruiter in the terms that they are familiar with, right? So they get hundreds and hundreds and thousands of resumes per job rec. I look at some of them and
that are generated by ChatGPT.
that and they're garbage, right? Some of them are garbage.
Mhm.
Some of them aren't utilized. Bro, we always go longer than 30 minutes.
Yeah. We've probably gone 40 already.
All right, we're back.
And we're
Yeah,
back.
30. Yeah, we're about 30 minutes.
So you were in deep discussion right there.
So yes, leverage AI to help you become a better whatever it is that you're trying to do. You know, as a recruiter by trade and a marketer by trade, my job is to communicate. Right, I have got to clearly communicate what I'm trying to convey. So I go to ChatGPT all the time to help me convey my message via email. Because sometimes, you know, we talk about humility earlier, right? And I'm pretty outspoken. Johnny, you're outspoken. Jay, we're all outspoken guys, right? So sometimes me being outspoken, and my wife says I have an angry resting face. Like sometimes I'll say something, she's like,
Resting
"Dang."
bitch face.
She's like, why are you so mad? I'm like, I'm not. She's, well, your face does not say that. So
Your face shows me different.
she's like, change your face. So I will leverage ChatGPT to say, hey, make sure my email does not come off rude. Because especially if I'm heated and I don't want to retaliate, I'll throw it in there and say, hey, make this come off friendly and make sure my point is coming through. And this is the point I'm trying to make. Help me generate a better email. And that's how I use it. And again, be familiar with the technology because you're gonna get left behind.
This shit's unbelievable, man. It's crazy. So we're gonna be looking back in 15 years, like you said earlier, and look back at these smartphones, right? And we're gonna say, man, those smartphones weren't that smart.
Yeah, these weren't. These are gonna be garbage.
I could only do this, this, this. Now today, 15 years fast forward, I can do all these things. I can generate movies on. My phone's gonna create a movie and create
AGI already is.
me looking like The Rock, or I don't know. It's doing that already.
It already is. That's why a lot of those actors in Hollywood were striking. A lot of the script writers, because AI can write you an entire movie script and generate the characters, generate the colors, generate the whole movie. Can do everything.
So a shitload of people are going to be out of a job soon. I think I can. We usually always try to look forward to the future, but I can see how people are going to be losing funds, losing their jobs, losing positions.
Well, we've got to learn to pivot. You've got to learn to keep your eye on the prize, right? Culture shifts, things change, demand and supply and demand. Those things change all the time. It's not a new concept. So if you feel like your job is going to get replaced by AI, then we'll get familiar with AI and make yourself more value. Because we still have to, goes back to the human still has to tell the AI what to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
To an extent until the world gets taken over by robots.
Yeah. So 2024, a lot of shit's going on.
Oh man,
we're 12 days in. Is it the 12th today?
Oh yeah, hey, it's my brother's birthday.
Yeah,
Happy birthday,
Happy
Scott.
birthday, your brother. So we're 12 days in. I mentioned earlier we got Stanley Cups. So I got my social plug media Stanley Cup here. We got Cat
Does
Williams.
does it keep it cold for a week?
A week.
You know, if you
Allegedly.
have to if you have to keep your water that cold for that long, you ain't drinking enough water.
No, obviously not. All right. So we got the Cat Williams thing going on, Stephen A. Smith thing going on. We got Jada Pinkett Smith looking like Pitbull or Smashing Pumpkins or something. What else we got, J Rock? What else has happened in these 12 days?
What do y'all think about all the conspiracy theories?
Okay, what do you got?
Okay,
I hear a lot of stuff.
All right.
But what have you heard?
Have y'all seen the movie Left the World Behind?
Yes,
Yes.
I have.
What do you think?
I think it's true, and I think they're pulling the Simpsons, man. I think they got a really good point of what we're really depending on when it comes to social media, talking about AI and all that shit. Like the one that freaks me out, the scene that freaked me out the most. Spoiler alert, people. The one scene that freaks me out the most is all the Teslas being controlled and told where to go and where to smash and where to hold, and you know what I mean. That's crazy. I think, but that's exactly what could happen.
Well, you know what scares me the most about that movie? Y'all know who produced it?
Barack Obama.
Obama.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
He knows a
That's
lot of
scary.
stuff, man.
Yeah,
and
it's scary.
if you've watched it and then don't recognize this, go back and watch it again. There's blue across the whole movie. Like
Mhm.
from the moment the movie starts, there's blue.
I say, hey, all right, now your world just ended there.
Yeah. Well,
Hold on,
I don't
give me
know.
a second. It's coming back on a second. There we go. We're back.
And then I heard, so speaking of Tesla, right? And
Mhm.
going back to the Tesla robot, and this makes perfect sense. So those Teslas driving across the country, driving all over the world, right? So they're taking in information, they're
Yeah.
taking in feedback, and all that information is going straight to those robots.
Dude, and they're listening to you when you're driving.
Yeah, that's scary shit.
What
Isn't that
about
scary?
Yeah, hell yeah.
dude, what about all these listening devices? These cameras that we buy and put them in our bedrooms and our homes.
Yeah, Alexa.
Dude, they're listening to you. Hopefully they don't listen to my shit at my house.
They listen to
They're
me
listening
fart.
to everything. Oh yeah, they're listening to everything, man. And
Pretty soon they're gonna be able to smell it.
Yeah. If I just say, hey Google, everything in my house lights up.
yeah, that's the problem right now. Is everything is lighting up. Once like you could be in one room and you'll say something, and then like Google will just turn on, and be like, "What did you say?" Or I didn't hear that right. I'm like, "What the fuck? Nobody's talking to your ass."
So let me tell you something. Ever since I said Barack Obama, my iPad just jacked up. I can't even get on the internet anymore.
That's scary.
So yeah, that is scary. So everybody's listening.
All right, so here's something
So hey,
else.
the government's listening to this podcast.
They are.
Good on you guys.
But
Make sure you tune in every week.
to tune in every week because they're gonna cancel us.
yeah, hell yeah.
Another crazy thing about that movie
Oh yeah.
is then you have a big, like Oprah and Zuckerberg building these underground layers, and I mean, maybe I need to go back to work because I just get sucked into all these conspiracy theories because they're entertaining, but they're funny. But it makes you think, right? You know, you see a movie like that, and then The Simpsons always predicting stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people make that shit up. They put the Simpsons after the fact, right? I mean, the Simpsons obviously didn't. So
Well, I
like,
mean,
let's just say,
the Simpsons they've done really good at this. So,
but
they've
they
had
create these things
episodes-
after the fact.
no, they had episodes before. They're putting these thoughts out of what they think is gonna happen, and some of them have happened.
So the Simpsons are the modern day Nostradamus.
Well, I mean, the Queen of England. You see that one? Like in one of their episodes, the Queen of England, they had her in a casket, and above it, it had the year that she passed away. And guess what? She passed away in
Yeah.
2023. Donald Trump coming
Donald
down
Trump
the
coming down the escalator.
and doing the exact same. Now, do you think Donald Trump did that? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
I
they
wouldn't
did.
put it
But
past
even
him.
even the sign, there's like a sign in the Simpsons that they're holding, and it drops, and that even happened in real life. And then there's a guy standing next to him with like a blue shirt or something. That happened as well. Like, it's just crazy stuff, man. And so like they just had an episode recently where like the sun like deteriorated of some sort, and it like there was like all these meteors, and like now that's happening in real life now too. So it's like crazy shit how the Simpsons are guessing on this.
It's just, I don't know. That's why I think 2024 is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
What do you
has to
predict?
be.
It happens.
Oh man, what do I think predicts in 2024?
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough for me to say
Well,
because
what went to shit in 23? What would you say went to shit in 23?
The economy.
Okay, inflation, right?
Southern border, not to get into politics, but that is a fucking shit storm down there.
Yeah, that's
All
true
right.
too.
I won't get
Okay,
involved with it, but I'm gonna tell you that's what
yeah.
I think about
Okay,
it.
what else? I mean, we got to think about these things because like those are the things that end up turning around because with this unexpected in the way, you know.
Well, I think 2023, from a labor market perspective, everyone thought, and there was tons of studies that said remote work was the new way of doing business, and there were stats that showed that organizations were more productive of people working from home. But then that started to shift. So why do you guys think it shifted? Why do you think big corporate wants to start bringing people back to work? Because I've seen that a lot in 2023, where they're starting to mandate
Mhm.
people need to return to the office. What do y'all? Where do y'all think a CEO or a CFO or anyone, a C-suite level, thinks? Well, we need to start bringing people back to the office. Why do y'all think that's the case now? Because that's what I saw a lot in
I
2023.
think people are they're going astray a little bit. I think the production might be down a little bit. It's not as streamlined because you don't have that leash there. And most CEOs come from old school mentalities where they want people there in the work center.
Yep.
I'm one of those guys too. I do have the mindset where I understand this is a new age. People can work remotely. I get that. But at the end of the day, I'm all about checks and balances and making sure everybody's doing what they need to do. Not to micromanage, but just to make sure production and everything's on point.
Yeah.
So I like being able to conjure with people and talk to them and build relationships that way. I think we're a little disconnected when people work remote,
Mm-hmm.
where the people element that we talked about in the beginning is just missing.
Yeah.
So I think that might be, to answer your question, that might be one of the reasons why, because they're disconnected from their actual staff and from production.
Yeah. I like the hybrid model. I see both
Hmm.
because I'm a people person. I like going to the office, but there are some times when I do get more work done at the house.
Hmm.
But there's also times when I don't get squat done at the house because I get
Mhm.
caught up in TikTok, right? Or I
Or you're
get cut.
taking a nap, you get sleepy, you're like, oh,
I
let
can't.
me.
I can't take a nap in the middle of the day.
No,
No, I can't.
I think naps are essential to getting your mind right.
I just can't
But
do it unless I had a few beers.
yeah.
I just can't. If someone say, "Hey, I'm gonna go take a nap at 1 o'clock in the afternoon," well, what were you doing last night?
Well, there's sometimes I take little power naps in the car or on the couch,
Oh,
whatever,
see, I
for
can't.
10,
I
10
can't
minutes,
do it.
15 minutes. Hey, and I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes look. Sometimes when I was at my office back in my Air Force days, little 10-minute, 5-minute little power nap is better than a 5-hour energy. You get those little.
People that nap. It's been studied. People that nap actually live longer. So
Uh,
it's good to shut off the
I'm
brain
I'm
in the
screwed then.
let's ask ChatGPT.
day.
See your
Yeah.
things.
How often should I nap in a
Yeah.
12-hour period?
So
Yeah,
you mentioned you. Oh, go ahead, J.
I was
Rock.
gonna say there's a lot of athletes too, especially in the basketball world, and even in some that I've heard from wrestling too. Since they travel so much, that the sleep actually helps their bodies recover quicker. Obviously, because they're the rest in the body, but when you put that in a routine in your body and you're constantly doing that, your body knows when to recover itself too.
Mm-hmm.
So a little nap can really adjust a lot of things in your body, and especially your digestive system too. So
Oh, my digestive system is rocky.
yeah, mine was fucked because I remember going days without sleeping, like because I was just so on the go back in the day wrestling and writing scripts and trading characters, and then some days I'd just be like the energy that you probably have. I lost that, but it fucked up my digestive system and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That was the aftermath of me not getting enough sleep. It's crazy how the body works, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Sean, I had mentioned at the beginning of the show how when you were last on our show here, we were a little heavier, right?
Yeah, we were a little heavier.
And we talked to each other and we said, "Man, do you remember that episode?" And I said I was up to like almost 200 pounds.
Yeah, I
And
think I
then
was 204. That was the heaviest I'd ever been.
and we're, you're not much taller than me. So as we get older, and we're Air Force retirees as well, so we got maybe, I'm not gonna go too deep, but we got some ailments and things in our medical history that aren't good, right? So we have to be very mindful, and this is not just for me and you. This is for everybody out there.
Yeah.
Got to be very mindful of not only what you put in your body, but how you treat your body. And it's been said the body is a temple. I do believe that. Garbage in, garbage out. What you put in, it can hurt you or it can help you, right? And it's moderation.
Mm-hmm.
So I had and I'll openly admit here, I had a love affair with food. I love food. And I wouldn't just eat small portions. I'd eat large portions. And if my wife didn't finish her stuff, I might eat some of hers. And I would indulge in alcohol mixed with Coca-Cola, Sprite, a lot of sugary
Sugary
stuff.
drinks, yeah.
And those are the things that, although they were fun and tasty, they were my heel. And it was tough looking at myself in a mirror, looking at myself on camera, because I'm on camera very often, in photos or what I think we all are. Today's day and age, people are taking these selfies, taking photos of each other, group settings, yada yada yada. So you got to self-analyze, and you got to stop saying, "Hey, the camera puts on 10 extra pounds." Bullshit. The camera doesn't lie. The camera's not just gonna put 10 pounds on you. It's you putting 10 pounds on you. So I came to that conclusion. I had to do something. So I tweaked it. And I started drinking a lot of water, started eating smaller portions, started going to the gym a lot more. I would go to the gym maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, and then I would expect, some kind of results just because I ran half a mile or whatever, got on the treadmill. If I didn't change the way I thought about food and sugar and stuff like that. So you've lost a hell of a lot of weight too.
I lost probably 15 pounds.
Which is a shitload.
Well, I've fasted a little bit more.
Okay.
Probably smaller portions as well. But I still love beer.
Yeah.
I love beer, and actually, I feel like I've worked out less because I worked out a little bit more toward the end of my career in the Air Force. But fasting, I've found that aside from the less of calories that I'm intaking, but fasting is also, I'm not sure what they call it, but there's something that goes on in your mental focus after about your 48-hour fast. And I did a 61-hour fast about 2 or 3 months ago, and at the end of it, I felt amazing. In fact, I remember my first fast, I did a 48-hour fast, and when I broke it, we went to a local place here, and obviously I'm gonna have a beer, and I looked at all the beers on draft, and I just had zero appetite. I think I had a salad to break the fast. I was more alert on what I was gonna eat to break that 48-hour fast. Right. A week later, I did the 61-hour, and the 61-hour was I mean obviously it was a little tougher, but and where I struggled was at night, because at night I get that sweet tooth. I want that piece of chocolate or that bourbon, and we all know those are two things that are just loaded with sugar. But to your point, it's just food control and smaller portions, and and just being mindful of what you're putting in your body.
Well, you're looking good, my man.
Well, thank you.
I'm proud of you and proud of everybody else who's making a life change.
Thank you. You too, man.
I know.
I didn't almost recognize you though when you walked in. You are a lot.
Well, somebody told me yesterday you look so little. That's not something a man wants to hear. That you look little. All right, and in any capacity, right?
Yeah.
So I took that as a compliment, and she meant it as a compliment, and I was like, okay.
Was it your wife?
No, no. If my wife's telling me I look little, that's not a good thing. So you mentioned on your logo. We'll go back to that. There's a llama.
Yeah,
right?
llamas.
And you said llamas. They're usually very good animals. When I say good, meaning that they're not hostile.
Yeah.
They're not out to look for blood. They're not gonna bite you and things like
They'll
that.
spit on you.
They'll spit on you.
Yeah.
Right. So why did you choose the llama as your mascot?
Yeah, because it's super random. When I first started the Rando podcast, I don't know why, I must have came across a llama online, and I just thought it was funny. You look at all these funny faces they make. There's tons of stuff online of just funny faces. And that's probably it. I just thought it was hilarious, and it's random. It's like exactly that very question. Why have a llama on your cover? Well, because you asked the question.
Right.
Right. It's just silly. And if you go to the logo, there's some money on there. There's beers on there. In fact, I didn't get all the elements that I wanted on there. I wanted some lightning bolts and some musical notes. There might be some musical notes in there somewhere, but I just wanted it funny and random, and llamas are pretty random. And I mean, so think about the last time you drove by a farm and there were llamas there. What'd you do?
You stopped and you
You
looked and you
looked
took
at 'em.
photos and you probably
You-
came out of your car and said, "Holy shit, there's some llamas there."
There's some llama. You looked at them, right?
Just
'Cause
like
they're
emus.
yeah.
What the hell? What is an emu? It's like half ostrich, half hen or something, right?
Yeah. Well, isn't there another name for llama?
Tina.
No,
Tina, come get your
Tina, you fella.
go get your ham.
come get your
Go
ham.
get your ham.
Alpaca,
It's a different animal, alpaca.
alpaca.
It
But
looks a little different.
they look the same.
So I think an alpaca, dude, you might have an alpaca on your.
I might. I don't know.
Okay, a llama
Let's see.
has less fur, and the llamas have bigger ears here. An alpaca has the smaller ears with the big neck, with the big fur. So this whole time, Sean, you might have had an alpaca,
I might
and you've
have.
been promoting it as a damn llama, man.
I don't know. You know,
Misleading the people.
hey, it's the
Misleading.
Rando podcast. It's not the accurate podcast. We say a lot of wrong things.
So you
on
say
there.
llamas they spit. Have you been spit on before?
Yeah,
by
I
a
think
llama?
I probably have. People spit all the time. That depends on.
Can we
the-
get into that?
Yeah, oh gosh, depends on the day.
I mean, we talk about rando, right? You can't be rando without asking that type of question. Has that
Well,
been,
I mean,
have you been asked that question before?
I'm not gonna spit out a great bourbon.
There you go. He's not going to spit out bourbon. Look at
I'm
that.
not
So-
gonna spit out a great beer.
But you'll
I mean-
swallow a burger, right? See, and that's what I meant.
Burgers are delicious.
That's what I meant. See, you guys have your head in the gutter,
Yes,
and you're going to shit quick.
it's the AI.
Stay
We'll blame the AI.
Do you remember that on Austin Powers? So what is it, baby? Spits or swallows? Do you remember that?
I remember the scene, but I don't remember what was replied. What would they say?
I think she says she swallows, I believe.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we don't know what she swallowed or what she spit. We just don't know.
Dude, that freaking movie. If you go back and watch that shit, the stuff they got away with, man, you
Yeah.
cannot get away with it today.
I eat because I'm unhappy, and I'm unhappy because I eat. That was Fat Bastard.
My dear. I don't know.
Too long. Gone with the Wind. I
Oh,
believe
that's
that
a
was
good one.
that Clark Gable? Is that right? That was like
I like how he's
1940
I
something.
like how he's looking at me like I'm supposed to.
Yeah,
have
Yeah,
an
well,
that's an
because
old-
J Rock is the researcher.
Yeah.
He couples as a producer / researcher / movie quote guy.
movie quote guy.
Well, here's one. Y'all should be able to get this one. This one's pretty easy, and I actually say this a lot. I'm a peacock. You got to let me fly.
Oh yeah,
Go.
I know it. Do you know
Is that
Johnny?
Michael Scott from The Office?
No,
No,
no.
it's Mark Wahlberg.
Which
the
movie?
other guys.
The
The
other
other
guys,
guy.
Will
Shit,
Ferrell.
I've
I'm
never
a
seen that,
peacock.
man.
Oh,
You never seen that movie?
No, so Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell come out in several movies, right? The
Yeah,
one about the stepfather,
Yeah.
Daddy's home.
Yeah.
Daddy's Home. So when I was on the cruise a couple of weeks ago, I saw the tail end of Daddy's Home 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell am I watching here?
Was it good?
No,
I don't remember it.
What?
they were on it was a Christmas theme.
Do you like any of Will Ferrell's movies?
I do like some of Will Ferrell's movies.
Okay.
I like Talladega Nights. I like
My favorite movie.
Yeah.
Step Brothers is
Oh, yeah.
all time.
You can call me Nighthawk.
Right.
We'll
Did you
go
touch my drum set?
Yeah, you just shut your shows.
One of my favorite scenes of that movie is when those kids put put both of their tongues on the dog
On
shit.
the poo-poo.
Not just poo poo, the white
The
dog
white,
shit that's
the
been
white
because
poo-poo.
dog shit don't usually turn white until it's been there for at least a month. Not that I'm an expert on dog shit,
Yeah.
but usually if I see it and it's white, it's been there a while,
A long time.
a long time. So just imagine you getting your tongue put on a piece of dog turd, man.
Johnny would throw up so bad.
Oh, dude, I can't. I have a weak stomach when it comes to anything shit related
Yeah.
or vomit.
I can't pick up dog poop.
No.
I
So
can't. I will puke.
you
So-
puke.
So
Johnny's
you have a
the same
big
way.
dog. You got a huge dog, and I'm sure that dog lays some massive shit.
Yeah, some nasty and I don't want to puke. I will puke.
So does your wife pick it up?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, because I'll cut the grass, I'll weed, I'll do all that other stuff, but I just
Y'all are one and the same.
I have a
sort of-
weed. I can't. It's something about the smell, the texture. It's horrible.
the warmth.
It's the warmth. I mean, I'll put like 8 bags on my hand and try to grab that stuff.
Just knowing it came out of the dog's intestines, that's just nasty.
I just
So my
can't.
wife and I have a compromise. All right. I don't touch the dog shit. She picks up dog shit of two. We got Aussie Doodles. She picks up both of them, right? And I do the laundry. I do our laundry. So in
Do
exchange,
you
so
fold?
I fold.
Mm.
So
You don't look like a folder.
folding is one of the most monotonous things you're ever gonna do. Because you see the pile of clothes, and it's a huge pile of clothes. Because we wash twice a week too, but we change clothes a lot. And just it's a mind thing. Seeing all this pile, and you're like, man, it's gonna take me 20 minutes, 30 minutes of just doing the same monotonous uh folding.
Folds.
See,
You know,
I can't fold laundry. I'll do dishes all day long. Because it's a kind of similar my task, right? Because for me, even though you got a pile, you fold the clothes. There is a stopping point, right? There's a completion, satisfaction of folding clothes for some people. For me, it's the dishes. It's clean. I'll wipe the tables down, do the dishes.
it's just you and your wife too.
It's just us.
So that's an easy task.
It's easy.
Right.
Yeah, we're pretty, but then we got dog hair all over the place, so I'll walk around with the broom every morning. And then I bought something off TikTok the other day because they got me, and now I have like a little floor vacuum that's pretty cool, but it's not as good as it
Did
was.
you get the broom, Johnny? Johnny
It's
apparently was supposed to buy a
TikTok.
broom the other day.
No, it's not a broom. It's a brush.
So it's a brush.
So those of you that have TikTok, there is a ad that's consistent. These guys want to sell the hell out of this bathroom brush. It cleans your toilet. It cleans your shower. It cleans anything.
Are you gonna buy it?
It's been purchased. It's on its way.
You already bought
He's
it.
like, I am waiting for that
Right.
thing.
And
So-
there's a new TV monitor too. I keep seeing on TikTok. I don't know what it's called.
What is it?
But it's like it's an add-on to your computer. You just plug it right in, and it pops right, and it's clear. But it's only like $50, and
That's not bad.
it's really nice. And the other day, I was like, "Hey, Sandra, should I get something nice for your computer for Christmas?" She's like, "No, I'm good. I don't need anything." I'm like, "Dang it!" So I couldn't.
So
buy it.
did you get her something lovely for Christmas?
Sandra and I, we don't do gifts. We've never been big on gifts. We always like memories. And we rather take that money. Granted, we don't have kids, right?
Mhm.
So I know things will change once we have kids, but we'll take that money and we'll go do an experience. So this year,
There you go.
even though we were back home, we were in Sweden. She was in Sweden for about 2 months last year, toward the end of the year. So we'll use the funds that way.
I noticed your forearms are a little bigger than last time too.
My forearms are bigger.
Than the last time.
I thought you said I lost weight. Now
No,
you're
your
saying,
forearms are getting a little stronger there. She was
Oh.
on for 2 months.
Oh,
So anyways,
well,
it's
I'm not
inside
sure.
joke.
Yeah, suck or swallow, right? Yeah, or spit or swallow.
Suck or
Suck or swallow. Yeah. I mean, I do hit the Peloton.
Look like Dan Popeye there.
Yeah.
son.
So,
Peloton.
but no. So we typically don't buy gifts, and we've always been. Actually, she did buy me something, but more of a gag gift, more of a funny thing.
What
But,
was it?
it was a little Las Vegas
Slot machine?
Slot machine.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Very
In a coin counter because I have coins everywhere.
Very cool. Are you a gambler?
No, I'm not. I'll sit there and play like, roulette or 3-card poker. Those are about the only two games that I enjoy. But my ADD kicks in, and I'm like, I'm done. Right? I love going to Vegas. I think it's fun, but not to. I'll gamble for a little bit, but I like walking around and just watching people and going to good restaurants. But gambling, it's okay.
I'm a people watcher, man. I can sit in
Yeah.
the mall. I can sit over at a restaurant. I'm just constantly
Yeah.
analyzing.
Yeah.
And in my head, this is how messed up I am. I'm analyzing what they're talking about, even though I have no clue, but I just like the imagination of what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And then I can I always tell my wife when we're talking, I said, look, they're having a damn affair because they come in separate cars and then they're holding hands leaving, go separately in their cars. But before that, they do a big, long hug. Husband and wife don't do that shit. Boyfriend and girlfriend, unless you're together for a short amount of time. you
Unless
don't-
they're
Why do you say
unless
that,
they're
though?
dating.
Yeah, do you say that only because you don't do that though?
Yeah, they could be
my wife
dating.
knows. I don't like holding hands. I just don't. And I'll tell her, hey, go up to the bar and get some drinks. We'll switch off. I'll go get drinks and then she'll get the next round. And so sometimes when she goes to the bar, there's always a guy there. Hey, sweetie, and I don't know what he's saying. Hey, I'm paraphrasing here. Hey, sweetheart, hey, can I get you a drink? And she was like, sure, you can get me 2 for my husband. And sometimes they purchase it. And I'm like, hell yeah, thanks, bro. Thanks, my man. And so, but there's no
What
jealousy or
kind of
anything like
guys
that.
hit on you when you go to the bar?
No guys hit on me. Unless
Giving you water.
unless I'm in a different kind of club, which I shouldn't be. But I've never had a guy hit on me, man.
No.
Yeah. So you sound like a man of experience. Have you had a man hit on you?
It's like an experience.
I mean, I'm a good-looking dude, so I can't, maybe like two or three,
Okay. Okay.
but it has
Were
happened.
they big burly guys with beards, or the little guys with the purse?
I don't remember. I was young, or
Younger. Okay.
younger.
Okay. I,
Yeah,
I think we should divert from that pivot. We talk about pivot, right?
yeah. We'll pivot.
We'll pivot out of that, man.
Yeah,
So, my man, you got a lot of things going on, and I love it. I love conversing with you and just
yeah.
shooting the shit. Every time, like I said in the beginning of the top of the show, whenever I see you, I get a smile on my face, and I say, "What is up, man?" Because every time you got something new, and you always got some kind of story to tell, and people love hearing your story because you got this look, and people don't know to take you serious or to be like, you know what, this guy is just a big bubbly guy, and he wants to have a damn good time. So I look at you and I think about just having a damn good time, having some drinks,
Have more fun. Have
having
more
some
fun.
drinks
There you
and
go.
all
Read
this
that.
stuff. So are you a guy that takes yourself too seriously, or you don't take yourself too seriously? Because we know you're one of the most humble guys that everybody knows,
Yeah, I'm super
right?
humble. I'm
Super.
appreciative, right? I'm very grateful and I'm
Hmm.
appreciative, and humility is an interesting thing, right?
It is.
Do y'all think humility can be taught, or is it intrinsic?
I think it's an awareness thing. It can be taught in the sense that, hey, Sean, just be humble. Don't make uh, too big of a deal about what you do and all these kind of things. So it could be taught, but people just have to be aware of their surroundings. Am I? And this is a good subject for me. And there's a guy named Dylan Shively that's been on the show before. We always talk about you can't be too humble because if you're too humble, you're irrelevant. You you kind of fade away. You drift off into oblivion. And I get it. There's certain scenarios where you can't be uh, too over the top and you can't be too humble. But humble, I think, is an isolated, like you're humble with your team, humble with your family, humble with certain um, networks. Like if you're brand new to this entrepreneurial network, you don't want to just come out outlandish. Hey, everybody, I'm this, I'm that man, I am him. No, you got to come out with a little bit of humility, like you just said. Um, but when you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, and you're on social media and you are talking about your brand and your values and what you can do to help people, you got to be out there and you got to show it. Because if you're humble in business, you're eventually going to fizzle out by somebody who isn't so humble and they're going to just step on you like a roach.
Mm-hmm.
So, to answer your question, can it be taught or is it, what was the other word you used?
Or intrinsic?
Is
Like
it
it's
come from within?
yeah,
I think it can be a little bit of both.
yeah. Because
It's a hybrid.
someone can to your use your words, act humble,
Hmm.
and then there's someone who is humble, right? I think there's a you can act, like, for example, I can act out love, but that doesn't mean I'm a lovely person. I can
Mhm.
act it out. Like, you can act as if you are humble. That doesn't make you someone of humility, right? And I think that it's okay. And to your point with, if you're too humble, you miss out on business
But
opportunities.
only in the business sense, not in a human sense. For instance, if somebody is in need, no, I'm going to be very humble and say, you know what? I need to help this person. I'm not too big to help this person out. And J Rock, no, me and J Rock are the same. No, we got to make ourselves scale it down a little bit where you are now putting yourselves in their shoes. It's empathy. You got to have the empathy
Right. Yeah.
to understand other people's situations and their scenarios. But when I see these things, I'm very humble and I'm very giving and very generous.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I, we've been blessed. So now, as we're older and in the situation we're in, we're able to give back to people, and that is an element of being humble.
Yeah.
Where now you are down, not down. you are showing that you're not up here in the clouds. You're down here with everybody else. Everybody else is going through struggle, trials,
Mm-hmm.
tribulations, um, challenges. We got to be able to make sure we're humble in it. And so it is a
It is about
variation.
yeah.
It's a variation of a lot of different things, and I think it's very scenario based.
Mm-hmm.
But as a podcast host, you can't be too humble. You got to be able to get your voice out there. You got to be able to show your value and your worth and how you can generate your words and your thoughts and all these things. Because if you're too humble, you're just going to be talking like this, and you're
Well,
not going to
you
get anything done.
yeah, you don't want that. But at the same time, I'll turn someone off if all I hear is
Right.
I.
Right.
It's
Right.
I've seen some
Yeah,
people that I
yeah, I hate
follow and
that shit.
that I appreciate, and well, I respect what they've accomplished. But then when they just start saying, "Well, I did this, I did," man, cool story, bro.
Right.
You know, next I'm moving on.
It's
Right.
all about your delivery, I think.
Mhm.
And then it's also depending
Yeah.
on what room are you in. You know what I mean? Like there's whenever I used to be in a room and tell people that I wanted to do a podcast, I was humble about it, but nobody took me fucking serious.
Mhm.
Now when I'm in the exact same room, not humble no more. Like I'm doing my shit.
It's scenario
Mhm.
I
based.
did everything I was gonna fucking
Mhm.
say I was gonna do. You know,
Mhm.
things like that. Like it depends on the room, depends on the situation, but being humble's a good thing to utilize. But like Johnny said, I think the best way to use it is in business.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But if we're talking ego and things like that, in my world of pro wrestling, you ain't gonna make it. You gotta have an ego. You gotta have certain things you need, you know. And I think that's where it, the right person knows how to fucking use it. Those people are the ones that are gonna be successful too.
Mhm.
So that's just my opinion
So,
as well.
and there's a fine line between arrogant and having a big ego. I posted a story on it this morning. Andy Frischella, he's a very motivational guy. I posted that story. So the premise behind it was arrogance. Arrogance can be when you are young in business or life, whatever, and you think you're bigger and better than what you truly are. That's arrogance. But ego, on the other side of the token, it's you've done it, you're experienced, you have all these accolades, you are that guy, and you might have a big ego, right? But both require a sense of humility and empathy for certain situations.
Mhm.
But that's the difference. Arrogance is being trying to be a badass when you're really not truly a badass. And then ego is being a badass when you have proven it before. So I think that's the difference.
You know, and I don't. I like those attributes too, to an extent, right? You
Mhm.
need some of those attributes, just enough to make a move, right? Because we
Mhm.
talked about people that don't put themselves out there in business. We good? People that don't put themselves out there in business, they're afraid, right? Or they're afraid that they're gonna come off as arrogant or as cocky or whatnot. But having those attributes is sometimes enough for you to take more risk
Mhm.
in your business, right? So I'll be the first. I wouldn't say the first person, but I'm pretty outspoken. You know, I'll tell you my opinion if you ask, and um, you know, and I'm not going to be rude about it, but I'm also going to stand my ground, and I'll be confident based on my perspective. And that is it. It could come out argumentative, probably a little bit.
But hey, we love that about you.
Yeah,
You got to be able to give honest feedback to people, if especially if they're asking you for it.
yeah.
You can't sugarcoat shit. You got to be able to give them honest feedback because you'll be doing them a disservice
Mhm.
if you don't.
I just got to work on my resting face.
Yeah.
Mhm. Resting bitch face.
Yes.
I think again, I think
Yes.
I think with me, like with my basketball coaching, like the kids they see me, they know I'm serious. You know what I mean? And then also, it's funny because I even asked them, I'm like, hey, you want me to be serious, or do you want me to just pat you on the back with it? And nobody ever asked me to pat on the back with that. They want me to give them the full throttle of what I think they need to get done, you know, to get better at the game. But I think that, again, it could go so many ways.
It
You know?
could.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could. So,
Well, Sean, thank you for coming on,
yeah,
man.
man.
We said we're gonna go about 30 minutes. I think we're over an hour.
We
Hour and
always
10
go. Yeah,
minutes.
we
Yeah.
Hour
always
and 10
go
minutes.
Always a
long.
good time.
Because the conversation just flows, man. So we
Yep.
appreciate you, and we wish you well. We wish you great luck,
Thank you,
not good
sir.
luck, great luck
Yep.
in 2024. Rando Podcast is back.
It's back,
Hopefully here
baby.
to stay this time. Hopefully it's not going to be collecting dust on a shelf
No,
somewhere
it's good.
or in a drawer.
No.
All right, you're gonna have a lot of different guests. Hopefully, me and J Rock and
Yeah,
whoever
come
else
on over.
will
Yeah.
will come on there. It's
My studio is not as pretty as this, but I also don't have all the professional
you're good, man.
camera stuff.
You said you had beer. You're good, bro. If you have
That's
beer,
it.
we're good.
Beer and bourbon.
And conversation. That's all we need.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
And the sound of my voice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dude, I can talk in a closet. We'll be all right.
Yeah, let's do it.
All
So
right.
thanks for having me, fellas.
So good luck to you and
Say coming out of the
Sandra.
closet?
Oh yeah, you're coming out of the closet. Is that
Are
what you said?
Are you
Said
coming out
coming
of
out of the closet? You said you're in the closet.
Oh,
No.
goodness.
Oh shit, me.
Yeah.
No.
Don't put that on me, Bobby.
See, you putting. I'm gonna have a different segment on you, J Rock. I'm gonna call you out. No. He's like, oh shit.
Hey, what quote was that from? Don't you put that evil on me. Oh, come on.
You said the movie earlier. He said the movie earlier too. You said it.
It's your favorite movie.
Yeah, it's my favorite movie.
Johnny wasn't even listening.
What was it?
Don't you put that hurt on me, Rick and Bobby.
Oh, come on, tell it again. On making a difference in the lives of others. Keep having more fun. Keep inspiring people. Keep making people laugh, man.
All right.
And keep losing those lbs.
Yep.
You're looking good.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
All right. And with that said, appreciate everybody who's watched, everybody who follows us, who subscribes to our YouTube channel. We got something good going. We're gonna have a lot of guests, a plethora of guests. So that's another movie quote. Plethora.
You know how you spell plethora? Plethora.
Plethora.
Yeah.
Like
sorry.
Versace.
Yeah.
F-O Sace. What movie is that from?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know it.
Need a
That's Versace you stepping on. You remember
No. Pulp Fiction. Not sure.
that?
Are you just randomly naming
I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's
That's-
the Goonies?
Friday
Scarface.
Friday after next.
Friday after
Oh,
next.
that's a good one.
No, is it next Friday? No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday after next.
There would have
No,
never been a
it's
Friday after
Friday.
next
It's
without a
next
next
Friday.
Friday.
It's next Friday. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
No.
That's right. Yeah, it's next Friday.
That's another quote.
What?
There would have never been a Friday after next without next Friday and Friday.
Oh, Shannon
Yeah,
Sharp.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Did you watch that podcast, Sean?
Which one was it?
With Cat Williams? The 2.5 hour podcast?
I watched a little bit of it, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I know there's a lot of dirt out there right now.
Yeah.
But I
That's crazy.
have seen a little bit of it.
Let's
love
keep
it.
digging up that dirt. Let's keep it flowing.
You know, and I know
Right.
we're trying to close, but what is it about society now that you have to see? This is why I think social media is starting to catch up to us, right? All the negative. Everyone is starting to turn on each other. Everyone's starting to put everyone else's business out there.
Wait,
Everyone's
Do you think it's that, or is people just being fucking real now?
they're
And not
well,
lying?
Well, I
Or
mean,
trying to make some money, put
but
himself on
why?
the platform.
But
Yeah.
why now? Why is Cat Williams now?
It's the perfect time.
But
like-
why now?
Because even we explained this in our last podcast, because even politics, even your CEO, the fucking Epstein list, everybody wants the real shit now. Quit giving me fucking lies. Society's wanting more real, and they're wanting the truth. So that's why all these Cat Williams coming out spraying the truth.
Jimmy
Or may-
Kimmel,
or
Aaron
maybe-
Rodgers, Pat McAfee, all these
Everybody.
guys.
So there's truth to first to market, right? First to market. You got a new service. First to I want to be the first to market. So I think sometimes a lot of these cats got a lot of dirt. So if I can bring my own dirt to the market first, and I can make a stand and be a louder voice first,
Yeah.
maybe that protects me for some other stuff. So I don't know. It could be.
It could be.
It could be.
But
You know, they're protecting
I
themselves
think
from
what's
something
happening
bigger.
now, though, is people want receipts now. Like, that's the
Mhm.
thing now. Like, back what you're saying now. Because look at all the technology that we have now. They're going back and seeing Cat Williams talk about his joke, and then they put Cedric the Entertainer, and they're utilizing that, and they have receipts. And I think that's the difference now, is you have the backing of what you're saying, and that's what, even with politics,
Mhm.
the whole election scam, all that shit.
Yeah,
it's all
they're,
coming
what's her
out.
name? Haley, where they have on one side of the screen of her saying that she didn't like she believes in, and then on the other side of the
Mhm.
screen it talks to her saying the complete opposite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I think reality's coming into now, and I
Mhm.
think that's what people want to watch and see and take it as entertainment.
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
sad sometimes. but that's what it is.
2024. Put on your diapers, everybody,
Let's
because
go.
it's gonna be a shit show.
Mhm. As long as you don't put that diaper in your head, you'll be all right. So with that
I
said,
try to get
we're
us
gonna. Hey, 2024 is off to a very fast start, a great start, not only for us but for entertainment and everybody else. So we love you guys. Keep watching, keep supporting us. We are on the internet webs as well, socialplugmedia.net. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and beyond. So, with that said, you are unplugged from the Social Plug podcast, and we will see you very, very soon.